Which is correct. Did you had?
Did you had? Did you had what? I found a thingy. I found a thingy. Jazzy found a thingy. Whatever that means. I don't know.
Can we do it like this today?
That is... Come here, talk about that. Right. The sun's come out, sort of. Not. Almost. It's quite loud.
It's got loud music and quiet talkings.
It does. Is you is.
What is this?
Is you is.
Habba dabba dabba.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Boo boo boo.
Blow. Okay.
Everything's working.
Yes?
Yes. La 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 la.
You were dead in the last one. You know that.
Excuse me.
Here we go. You ready?
That's because we weren't talking about something that I'm passionate about. It was something that you were passionate about. So.
Are you ready?
Yes. I don't know, Jasmine. That thingy that you had? Yeah. I don't know. Wherever you put it. Did you click it?
I clicked it.
Is it frozen?
It might.
Is it we didn't even start yet, and we're already frozen.
Actually, be frozen, and we haven't even done anything yet. Okay, there we go.
Right.
We'll see what happens with it. Yeah.
Look at us, all geometrical there.
what is speak for yourself.
I
with
have
your
stripes, and you have little. What are they? Boxes, kind of things.
boxes. Excuse me. Do you have any shirts with boxes on them? I don't think that's going to work.
What do you call that?
Don't know. Cross pattern, perhaps.
Tartan.
Sort of
tartan shirt.
Sort of light fake tartan.
Something like that.
Something cross-hatched.
I've got curves. Because they should probably should be straight, but I would have to have a straight body to have straight lines. So.
You don't want. You can't because of your breasts. It's always gonna dip down one way or the other. Anyway.
Dip down.
It's going to dip down one way or the other.
That's not how you talk about breasts.
Sag, drop, fall, droop. They can do all of those things without much
effort.
Without much effort. Hey, look at that! When I tag people on Facebook, right?
We didn't even start.
When I tag,
you're really embarrassing.
Are you crying?
Yeah.
Excellent.
You tag people, yeah.
Look, I tagged someone, and it changed the person's name into at sign 1,000,005 number something blah blah blah. What does that mean? That's
I don't know.
Very strange.
It just looks like you've been taking some medications when you were typing that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to introduce slightly late in the year, but the world's worst Halloween mask. Now, for people watching the video online, what you can see is like a headscarf with a giant eyeball with teeth at the bottom of it across the front. Now, if something seriously wrong.
This wouldn't be so disturbing. What the problem is that this mask has been made for a cyclop, because only has one hole in the middle.
Well, that's how are you supposed to see anything out of this if you've got two eyes? Is beyond me.
You're supposed to be a cyclops.
You're supposed to just walk around blind. Maybe you're supposed to stick your tongue out the middle part. I'm not quite sure. It's like it's just the head mask is just one giant eyeball, which is just a bit freaky. What's even scarier is that
it's supposed to be disturbing. I mean, it's a Halloween mask.
How did this end up here?
Well, Will wanted a scary mask for Halloween, and he liked this one.
It's pretty freaky, actually. The freakiest thing about it is that you can't actually wear it. It's just so completely impractical.
Yeah, so look at those teeth.
What are teeth? Teeth at the bottom of the eyeball.
Yeah, but they're so realistic. No? I mean, look at that.
Oh, why don't you just cut them out and stick them in then?
They've got the colour of fangs with fresh blood.
Look at that. Yeah, but he doesn't go to the dentist very much.
Well, I think he does. Just look at that.
Anyway, that's the world's worst Halloween mask. There we go. Dude, it done. Away with that. Apparently you were bored by the topics last time. Were you bored? I
wasn't bored. I was interested, but it isn't something that I can get overexcited about. You know, I mean, it was your topic. It was something that you rant about.
I did have a big. Okay.
You know,
okay.
it's your rant kind of thing.
So what floats your boat then?
I've got it's painful here.
No, I'm talking about parenting. I'm not talking about physical points of pain on your body.
Just give me a little massage there.
What? A little massage?
Like
if I stick my finger in there in your back, is that okay?
Really?
Is that's
okay, but I don't think it's going to help long term.
I'm not really. What? No, it's not going to help at all if I stick my finger in there.
What is it? It's like a hinge or something.
Hinge? Excuse me. Doctor, my back is not hinging properly.
My hinge hurts. They're at you've got
your hinge joint.
You've got hinges at the back.
I don't know.
Who
made you?
Where your whatchamacallem, ribs.
Your ribs.
When your ribs attach to your back, you've got hinges there. You've got joints, right? And when you breathe,
you go to the local hardware shop and pick up a couple of extra pieces.
Yeah, and when you breathe, they like come apart in the front, and they like hinge back at the back like that, right? So, what are you doing?
I was looking for the mask because obviously it belongs to you.
And it feels like one of my hinges is hurting. It's pretty uncomfortable.
One of your hinges.
Yeah.
You probably need to hang.
Probably need to hang my hinges.
Something like that. Yes. Yeah, hang like the bird feeder out there.
It's a nice bird feeder.
But it bugs me because you didn't put it in the middle.
Well, I did actually. I put it in the middle of that.
Oh, did it fly over to the side, did it?
Shut up. Look, can you see the thing that it's hanging on, the bar?
Yeah.
It's exactly in the middle of the bar.
Oh, no.
It's not my fault that the bar is not in the middle of the balcony.
You put it in the middle of the bar, but didn't check to see if it was in the middle of anything else.
I did check to see, but I couldn't be bothered moving it.
Because that would have been too complicated.
Well, actually, yes.
Slide it along.
It's difficult to slide because the bar is cracked, it's broken in multiple places, and the string gets stuck in those places.
Multiple places?
Yes.
Like your back?
Yeah, no, my back's only broken in one hinge.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is actually quite difficult to move. You actually have to untie it and re-tie it.
Oh no! Oh, call the cops. As you do.
I'll call you. It's your job. You love untying things and untangling them and.
I can't untie anything. I can't even untie my tie.
He can't even untie his shoelaces. Seriously, people.
They're weird.
He comes to me with his shoe in his hands and says, "Can you please untie my knot?" It just knotted itself.
I tried to untie it and it like double knots itself on itself. I don't know. It's It's obviously not designed for practical use at all. It's good that it doesn't come undone, but
ever. Yeah, I know.
Hence a small problem.
Yeah, and then it takes me like half a nanosecond to untie it.
Mm-hmm. I have, I've suddenly got a very itchy nose, and it's suddenly become blocked. I suddenly can't breathe through it. I suddenly want to sneeze. Why has that happened?
I think you're allergic to the thing, the live.
Everything has been perfectly fine, and I hit record, and then suddenly
Everything happens. You need a tissue.
everything happens at once.
Sora, can you get a tissue for Daddy-O, please?
I don't know if I'm
Thank
going
you.
to need a tissue, but it might be practical to have one.
Jazzy wants to help now.
Oh dear, it's a race. It's
It's
a race.
going to be a fight. They both want to help.
The race turns into a fight. Okay, well we
I have noticed that when you were testing the. Thank you. Oh look.
Oh, we got 2.
Ooh, come on, Jazzy, give it to
That's
Daddy.
pretty
He needs
cool.
yours too. Please,
Please, can I have it?
please, Jazzy, can we have a tissue?
No, I don't think we're going to get beyond that phase.
Okay.
Which.
Yeah, when you were
But
testing
thank you. Anyway, we really appreciate it.
testing the systems yesterday.
Okay, do you want to swap? Well, if you don't want that one, you can give that one to me.
Okay. When you were testing the systems yesterday, I have noticed in the video that you were touching your nose constantly. You looked like some kind of a, person who sniffs glue or something.
I was constantly playing with my nose.
Yeah. Kept touching your nose.
I haven't noticed that before. Oh, it's very interesting.
You were dancing around quite a lot. You were like, yeah, and then you just kept touching your nose.
What do you want me to do? Just like stand and fall asleep? What? It's called putting energy into things.
Yeah, I know. I understood that.
It says the person who didn't put energy into the last conversation.
Oh my God! I didn't put energy in one of our conversations. Are you just going to reproach me about it for the next 3 years? You remember the time when you didn't put any energy into that conversation? 20 years ago.
What's the pointless asking you if you remember anything, right?
I'm sorry. Oops.
There we have a completely natural reaction.
You don't want to start down that way. It's nearing my time.
You start down that way. I didn't start down anyway.
It's nearing my time of the month, darling.
Is it?
You don't want to get me going.
No?
No.
Okay.
Because I won't stop. Because once I start going downhill, I won't stop. I don't have the brakes.
Yeah. Snowball headed for hell. Right.
Taking everybody with me.
An avalanche. Started as a snowball, ended up as an avalanche.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's hormonal.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Okay. Can't do anything about that. Moving on.
Apparently, I have heard that it's like a psychological cleanse. Like the psychology. Sorry, I wasn't sure where to put the stress in that word. Is that a woman's psychology kind of tunes in with the human body, and when the body of the woman. In the body of the...
That is your mask over there, isn't it?
Of the human woman cleanses. So cleanses the psychology of all the tension that has been, stored in during the month, all the aggression, all frustration, everything that you've been suppressing, right? It all just comes out just it's in balance with the rest of the woman thing. Yeah.
Right. Well, shall I go away for a few days then?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give you a little bit of space to get all that out.
Take the kids.
Take the kids. I'm sure they'd love that. They'd love the freedom they get with me. Sit in the corner over there.
Don't move. Sit in your hands.
I have to say that.
Stop wiggling. Stop running up and down, jumping and everything.
Why are you doing a handstand on the couch? Oh, okay.
During lunch.
Yes. Yes.
The plate balancing on your left toe.
When we have a conversation, can you stand in one place? rather than running from side to side.
No. Well, Will is a boy. Okay, boys are kinetic. I mean, it's evolutionary, right? I mean, they're hunters. They have to have more energy. They have to be all over the freaking place. So it's normal. He is evolutionary. Okay, he is supposed to spend his childhood practicing skills for adulthood. Okay. And if he,
so that's what all the
as
dancing
an
around
adult, has to give out a lot of physical effort, has to be strong, has to be fast to catch the bloody mammoth.
Whoa, said the person who just said, why were you moving around while you were doing the
Yeah, but you're an adult, you can control yourself. Anyway, so because he has to
Sorry, please continue. I've just
he has to practice those skills in childhood. That's why boys naturally tend to be more energetic, tend to be more physical, more kinetic, because they're practicing their hunting skills. They have to run and jump and kill things, and because they're out there. They have to practice fighting. They have to practice their alpha male stance, and their dominance and everything. So
William, what do you think you're doing? I'm practicing my fighting skills, sir.
So they have to do that. They have, and on top of that, Will is the kinetic kind of learner as well. He has to fidget doing everything.
Fidget. He hit. There's not 2 seconds that pass without a fidget.
He has to fidget or walk around or jump around. When I used to read stories to him when he was like 4 or 5 years old, he'd be all over the place, all over the freaking room. He's running up and down, jumping off the bed, and I was like, "Are you even listening, Will?" Yes, I'm listening. He was listening to every single word, but he couldn't listen and focus on the story while sitting down. He could only focus on the story while running around. Okay. So that's just the way he works.
Why isn't that in those learning styles?
It is.
Is it?
It's a kinetic learning style. Yeah, it's for the kids who learn alphabet while throwing a ball. It's the that's they learn mathematics by doing steps, counting their steps, making them forwards, backwards, things like that. So it is actually. They need the fidget toy in their hands while they're doing something.
How come the fidget spinner is not interesting for him then?
It is, but you told him to put it down about 5 times because you couldn't stand the sound.
No, I didn't tell him to put it down because I couldn't stand the sound. That's ridiculous.
Well, I don't know what you couldn't stand.
The sound is not a problem.
But
it doesn't make any sound.
He was playing with it and you were like, "Well, if you don't put it down right now, I'm going to jump out of the window," or something like that.
So he doesn't just fidget with it and spin it round. He's like, and he's always doing it right in front of my face.
Yeah.
So he could do it anywhere at any point in time. Right?
Yeah, well, that's where the guidance comes.
There we go.
You can fidget, but do it over there.
Yes, directing them into a corner.
Yeah, I was wondering if I had a little bit of that in me, because when I was at school, anytime I had to talk about something, I would gesture wildly around me, right?
Did anybody get hurt?
Or I would jump up and down and do things. I would, touching myself. I was like 18.
That yank is really weird. She's either punching the air or touching herself.
I was 18 and I was supposed to have this speech, right? We were practicing speeches at school. And I was supposed to talk about something I was passionate about and informative, so I was talking about art, right? And when I was standing there, I kept doing this, right? When I was talking, I just kept touching my heart like that.
It's not really where your heart is.
I couldn't touch my boobs, right? So I just kept touching my chest. And the teacher told me about that afterwards. She's like, "You kept touching yourself like that, and I thought that you were reading your notes while you were doing that." You got a piece of lettuce on you.
There's a piece of lettuce stuck to the bottom of my cup.
That's a bonus. I put it there because I didn't have a biscuit.
I would rather have had a biscuit,
I know.
but we don't have any biscuits now.
So
You know how I only discovered that because I could see the bottom of the cup in
when you were drinking.
in the Facebook video when I was drinking. I was like, it's stuck to the bottom.
Something stuck to the bottom of your cup. Where? We should do that. Will will do that. He's told me.
Okay, everybody, have a look on the bottom of your cup. Oops.
That would be fun.
There's one ball in every minute.
Yeah, so anyhow, we wanted to go straight into it last time, right?
This time.
Yeah, this time. So, hi everybody, welcome to the Practical Parenting. I'm sorry, I'm just taking over today. Welcome to the Practical Parenting with Graham, called G, and Yanka, called me. Today...
How do you say Graham? How do you say Graham?
Graham.
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 Like some kind of turkey being choked.
I'm not. It's not my fault. You've got such a name. Sorry.
What a boring name that my parents chose. They could have chose.
Says the English teacher here.
They
could have chosen.
They could have chosen anything. They could have chosen Engelbert or
Mahatma.
Yeah. They could have done anything. Mahatma Coke, please. So anything at all, basically.
So, and you, Graham.
Boring.
He could have been. What's this guy's name? The ugly face.
Well, that narrows it down.
Hamish. He could have been called Hamish.
Hamish.
Macbeth.
Oh, the actor Robert Carlyle.
Yeah.
You think he's ugly?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't think he was ugly. But
he's not. Well, okay. It's not exactly.
Oh, he's not ugly. He's just Scottish. Okay.
Kinda.
I get it.
Probably. He's very Scottish, actually.
Fair enough. Okay, that's it.
No, he's got a certain kind of charm. He's got a certain kind of charm, but he's not the Bruce Willis kind of good-looking guy.
Bruce Willis looks like a bald-headed eagle.
Oh, Bruce Willis is.
He must be
hot.
500 years old by now.
When he was young, he was hot.
When I was young, he was old. Now I'm old.
When he was young, he was still bald. That's quite bizarre. It's like he's been bald ever since he was born, right?
Something like that. I think he's one of those actors who's like, let's make this as practical as possible. I'm just going to go around with a shaved head.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, he's very attractive. Much better than Robert Carlyle. I had a crush on him when I was about
Bruce Willis.
15. Yeah, and it never went away.
What films did you see him in?
Something silly. Wait. The one with the alien. What was it called?
Armageddon?
I've seen Armageddon as well, but...
Sixth Sense? How do I know all this? Fifth Element?
Yes, that one. That's when my
all of those
crush
films
started.
kind of blend into the same film. I can't remember any.
I've seen all of them.
I've
seen all of them, but I think the Fifth Element was the first one that I've seen. Could have been.
It always amuses me when I see the Die Hard film grouped in as best Christmas movies ever. Top 10 best Christmas movies ever.
Oh, it is.
Die Hard.
It's a great movie, though.
Yeah, it's not really a Christmas film, though, is it? It's just about terrorists and people shooting each other and other kinds of nonsense. Yeah?
Cool. Yeah, he's good.
Well, every role that he ever played was the same character.
Yeah.
You know? It's just he's a cop, or he's a CIA agent, or he works for the FBI, or he's an ex-cop, or he's
he's that kind of tough, hard, but charming and funny, and sometimes accidentally and surprisingly gentle and gentle.
Like a concrete teddy bear.
Yeah, exactly, like a concrete teddy bear. Yeah.
Strange image.
With no hair. Oh, she has no. Jasmine. Jazzy, can you go and get this toilet roll back to Zora? Because she needs to wipe her bottom. Can you do that, please?
That would be very cool.
Super cool. Take this. Take it to Zora. She's sitting on the loo. Go. Go save her. Go.
Save the day. Jazzy saves the day. Once again. Okay. Right. We're moving on to something completely different.
Okay.
We are actually going
See, I can come alive when talking about something interesting.
Bruce Willis.
Like Bruce Willis.
If the conversation ever drops or gets boring, I'm just going to say, Bruce Willis.
Ding!
And
Thank you.
Jazzy saved the day.
Thank you, Jazz.
Once again. Super sweet.
Yeah,
Right.
so, hello, welcome. And let's talk about some core values.
Let's talk about core values in parenting. Now,
Yeah.
to find the core value, we have to look at what is behind the mask. Yeah.
What mask?
It's not a mask you're wearing.
No. That the other thing is a mask.
Oh, okay.
This is my real thing.
Oh, really?
Mm.
It's not bad.
Oh.
It needs a bit of work, but anyway.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. So, to understand why you have the values that you have in the present, you have to take a step back and examine how those values formed and from where those values came.
Well, they're usually ingrained in us by our parents, aren't they?
Well, we take some of our values from our parents, but we also have to upgrade and improve our values. And there are some values that we don't want to have from our parents, so we choose to reject some values as well. So it should be different for different people, although we can all ask ourselves the same types of questions to get deeper into the information. So what I thought I'd do is go through some of the questions with you. Little Miss Guinea Pig today. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I was just thinking about Trivial Pursuit questions for a second.
I saw how you were thinking.
I was.
It's
Yeah, I was.
actually visible.
I was because I mentioned.
I could see the cogs turning.
I mentioned guinea pig, and the word pig reminded me of the question about truffles today, and I was thinking pig truffles. Why am I thinking about truffles and pigs? Okay, I was confused.
Yeah, there was a question like, what animals used to look for truffles? And I knew the answer because I watched Huey, Dewey, and Louie when I was a kid, and they had a pig in one of the episodes.
Is that your neighbours?
And they were, and the pig was looking for truffles.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remembered. Yeah.
It's amazing what you can pick up from Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
I know, isn't that amazing? And they dressed the pig up like a baby because there was an area where no pigs were allowed.
You remember this? You actually remember all of this.
It's crazy. I must have been about 8 when I watched it.
Well, I guess, what did I guess? I guess the badger is what they used to search for truffles.
That is I can't imagine anybody taming a badger. And, just like, search now. Have them on a little leash or something.
Why do badgers even exist? What are they good for? Are they good for anything at all?
Badger's fat is really good for influence, like when you've got like upper chest, like bronchitis, when you've got chest infections. Then the lard from a badger is really good for that. You're supposed to put some badger lard on your chest.
Oh, just put a badger on my chest? Would that work?
No.
Oh,
You have to take the lard out of it first.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to like that. Anyway, and you heat it up and you put it on your chest and you put on like a cloth or something and a plastic sheet and you just leave it on overnight. And... Was a plastic sheet and a cloth? I don't know.
Badgers could make a fortune from that, couldn't they?
I don't think they have it patented though.
No. You go to the local pharmacy. I'd like 3 pounds of badger fat, please.
Yeah, actually, yes. You can actually get badger fat in a pharmacy. In Slovakia, I imagine in UK, they would probably look at me like, "Is it gonna use me?"
Yeah.
Like when I asked for the wild thyme herbs.
There's a woman here. She thinks that badger's an animal.
The pharmacist, can I have some wild thyme, please? And I'm like, what?
What?
Like, 1-5, the herb for chest infections. And we're like,
No, we're Scottish. We don't understand.
they were like, this is a pharmacy. We don't sell tea.
No.
And I'm like, no,
Your
but it's
tea, you have to go to a tea shop usually.
but it's a medicinal herb. We're a pharmacy. We only sell medicine. And I'm like, okay, obviously. Culture shock.
Yeah.
Because in Slovakia, you go to a pharmacy and you get herbs, right? And you get badger fat. So, yeah.
Any
Speechless.
Well, I
Would you
have.
like to start on the core values?
That's what.
My nose is itchy now as well. It's contagious.
Yes. Yeah, you have to be aware. Be careful. If you got some badger fat, it'll probably help you.
I don't. I've got my own fat.
Yeah.
Doesn't help though.
Badgers you though.
Yeah. Sure it does. Whatever that means.
To badger somebody. And that doesn't mean to.
Does that mean to sniff someone?
No. It doesn't. It does not mean to sniff them. It does not mean to roger them with a badger. Okay, either. It just to badger somebody, to bother somebody.
Yeah.
Yes, to bother somebody, to make a problem, to annoy somebody.
Okay.
Stop badgering me.
No, my fat doesn't badger me at all.
No?
No.
No.
It's my friend. He's called Jabba.
Yes. Well, we'll get we'll get into Star Wars another day. But we need to get into the core value stuff, but we can't get into the core value stuff.
It's just repeat. Okay.
So you have to go and do your duty, and do your duty, and I will talk about core values again. I'm always talking about core values and never really getting anywhere with them. What's to say? A lot of people don't have a foundation in their thoughts or their beliefs or their ideas. And if you don't have a foundation and you don't have a grounding, you kind of drift in your philosophies, in your ideals and expectations in life. And it's also easy to be manipulated when you don't have a firm foundation and you don't have a clear set of core values. So, it's an interesting exercise to sit down with a piece of paper and write down 10 things that you value in life in terms of your core principles. Are you you okay over there? Do you need some help? Yeah. Are you? That's. There we go. It's done. So, what are the core principles that drive you? What are you prepared to accept? What are you not prepared to accept? And it all comes from an understanding of what you value in life.
Give me a question.
So we're going to dive into it right now. Question number 1 in our quest for core values.
Should you be nervous?
No, you shouldn't be nervous at all, but you should just let the answers flow,
Okay.
right? Whatever comes into your head first. So, inspirational people in your life. Go. Who do you think of first when you think of inspirational people in your life? Who has inspired you?
You.
Dun.
Stupid, sorry. You have.
You stupid inspired me. Oh, thank you.
No, you do inspire me. You inspire me.
Apart from Bruce Willis.
Then, apart from you inspire me because of all the positives that you are aware of about yourself, which is the
what does that mean?
the self-discipline and the organization and everything, and the tenaciousness that you just keep going.
No one has ever described me as tenacious before. That's interesting.
Anyway, yeah. Next person who inspires me is Ines. She is very inspiring to me because she has gone from a complete and total.
Ines, that's a girl, right?
Yeah.
Because that was a boy's name where I grew up. So.
No, she came from a complete and utter, like the lowest you can imagine. Like her super personal low psychologically.
Okay. She lived with badgers.
Almost. Yeah. She tried to kill herself. And she came from.
Christ.
I know. And she came from a state like that into.
Oh!
Yes.
Oh, just put 2 and 2 together and resulted in.
Yes, it's that person. Yes.
56. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And she got to a place where she helps other people, she's inspiring other people, she learns amazing, massive amounts of information about psychology and depression, and she puts it out there for others, and I just find that awesome, you know. And she just fights it like every day.
So
and
she's
on
turning
top, so.
turning the negative into positive, yeah.
Yes, and she's doing great. Other inspiring people. I'm generally inspired by.
I'm inspired by our daughter who thinks the dog is a horse.
Every day, yeah. But I'm generally inspired by women out there that are turning their liabilities into their assets, basically, you know, who are changing their lives, who are taking the opportunities that they have to change their life, to go forward, like Bea that we're going to interview next week. Yes. She was in a very tough situation as well, where she was fired from 2 jobs. She loved both of those jobs. She was really good at them, you know. She was working with the natural cosmetics, but she was probably viewed as too active, you know. Sometimes insecure people don't like to be in presence of other people who are good at what they're doing and passionate about what they're doing. So somebody probably felt threatened. God knows why, but she got fired, and she again was very low, but she took that opportunity and she just pursued her own thing, and she's got a business going on now that's going to, you know, it's going up, it's going up. It's only just started, but it's already being quite successful, so that's great. So people like that inspire me, you know. Another person that we're going to interview, Lucia, inspires me as well, because she does her thing as well, you know. I'm
inspired by whatever it is that Jazzy's doing.
Sheep and ice cream.
Ice cream. She's made a sheep and ice cream. That just
fell apart, yeah.
From Duplo, okay.
Who is also doing what she loves. Her private kindergarten is something that she loves, and she's making a living out of it. Another person that inspires me is another mom who started taking photographs while she was on a maternity leave.
Could you put your cup over there, please? Because,
yes. She started taking photographs when she was on a maternity leave with her 2 kids, and it turned into a full-time business for her as well. You know, she's doing it for a living now, and she's great at it. So all these people inspire me. All these little stories of these empowered moms out there who just take control of their life. I think that's great.
Okay, so this little person inspires me. You're an inspiration. She's standing on the table, which is...
Don't fall.
Don't fall. Don't fall down. Stay there.
Sheep.
The sheep. There
bah.
We go. Okay, that was pretty cool. So we move from inspiration to thinking about another positive aspect of character, which is about best personal traits and characteristics. So when would you say that you're at your best, and why? When are you in your zone, in your frame, in your place? Yeah, the place that you feel comfortable and you're good at what you're doing. What would you say is that place for you?
For me, it's talking to other people and in turn motivating other people. So when I talk to my friends or when I talk to random people
Don't drop your sheep. Hold it.
out on the internet that I have as Facebook friends, but I don't really know them in person. It doesn't really matter because when I'm in that situation, that's when I feel comfortable. Like we talked about Ines, right? I offered a lot of support to her. Sorry, darling, you talking?
What's up? She's talking about the film. She's saying that she can see the film Mulan in the background.
Oh, would you like to go and watch it with Zora there? Oh, okay. Up.
Don't forget your ice cream.
Of course. Yeah, so I would talk to her, you know, I would offer her support, and these are the situations when I feel good, when I feel comfortable with myself. I know what I'm saying. I can offer other people a little bit of a removed point of view, you know, objective point of view, and I can connect to them. I can relate to their problems, and I can offer some kind of support. That's what I like.
So, as a result of understanding what you're good at and what you like, what would you say are your greatest achievements or accomplishments personally?
That's a very good question.
Apart from helping design that beautiful castle over there, which we built yesterday from cardboard, and has served as a basically spaceship for the last
What are my
24
biggest
hours.
achievements? I would say this is going to be extremely selfish and self-centered. But
Well, you have to acknowledge what you're good at, because if you don't, then you are left with only one other path to follow.
I'm not sure if this is directly related to what I was talking about before, but I would say our kids, I think our kids and the way they can handle problems and problem solve, the way they can be empathetic towards others, you know, their emotional intelligence, their, you know, I view that as partially our accomplishment, because every time they get something right, you just feel that, you know, you're guiding them in the right direction. So, obviously, there's a lot of other people involved, by which I mean the kids themselves. Because their personality is a huge factor. Obviously, it's not like I've got this little piece of clay and I mold it in my image, right? But I think the fact that we can function peacefully, that we can communicate and we can solve problems together, I think that's...
Yes, of course you can. Help yourself.
That's a big accomplishment that happens every single day. Okay. Other than that, big accomplishments. I don't really feel that I've accomplished anything. Which is a terrible feeling. I've gotten stronger, which is a huge accomplishment for me, which again doesn't relate to what I was talking about before. But you know me, right? You know that have personal problems with staying consistent.
The Porsche has arrived.
And self-disciplined. Therefore, getting fitter and getting stronger is a huge accomplishment for me, because if you don't have a self-discipline and consistency, then you don't do what you should to get better. But I'm getting there.
Good job, Jesse.
A little bit by little bit. So I view that as an accomplishment as well. And that's it. Also, you know, just if I want to relate to what I was talking about before, then just having my friends, having the circle of friends that I have that are motivational for me and that move me forward is an accomplishment as well for me, because that means that not only means that they give something to me, but it means that I'm giving something to them. And that's cool. That's good.
Yeah, and obviously we all need people around about us to support us.
Yeah.
And that we can support as well, because it works.
You know, once when I was very young, I was 19 and I worked in this ice cream stand, right? In the summer, I had a summer job, and there was this girl, and she was 17, and she was just finishing her her high school, and she didn't want to go to college. She just wanted to go and work in McDonald's or something, right?
Well, if there ever was an end at the beginning, it's
I know, because she was like, oh, I can't be bothered. She's like, I can't be bothered. I don't want to learn anymore. Now, obviously, right now I have a different perspective on college, but back then I was, I bought into it. I was like, college is something that is really cool because you study, you'll get a paper, and then you'll be able to do something better, right? Rather than just flipping burgers. And we talked about it, and because we worked together, we talked about it quite a lot. And after about a week, she saw me studying because I wanted to get to the college where I go to study languages. I was in a different college back then, and I didn't want to stay there. And I was studying while selling ice cream.
What were you originally studying?
I had biology and arts, pedagogical faculty.
Okay.
But I didn't want to be a teacher.
Can't imagine why not. It's a wonderful job.
Oh God, I just couldn't teach kids. Says the homeschooling mother of 3. And she told me after about a week, she said, oh, you motivated me so much, you inspired me so much, I'm going to college now. And she was like, I changed my decision. I decided that I want something more in life and I want to go to college. And I don't know whether she did or not, but that was just a really good feeling, It was like...
Yeah, or it could have been that she's just led by anybody who's around about her to do whatever it is that they do.
It could be. Maybe she was just highly influenceable person, but that kind of, that feeling was like, I gave someone something positive. That's stuck with me. So I like giving people something positive.
Okay. Yeah, you can argue about the relativity of the positive nature of that.
Yes. As I said, I had a different opinion back then. But I think in that situation where she wasn't thinking about going and setting up a business and start doing things like that. She was thinking about doing some horrible job, 9 to 5, that she would just not be happy about.
Okay, super. Let's move on and look at limits. So, what qualities within other people do you not like, or can you not tolerate when you're with or around other people?
That's a very good question. One of the things that I pick up instantly and don't like is when somebody's thinking more of themselves, when they're up, when they're like looking down at you. And
in an arrogant kind of way,
yes.
Right? Because obviously there's nothing wrong with thinking about yourself, basically, right? In
an arrogant kind of way, yes. That's what I don't like. That's not that I don't like it. I just wouldn't come close to those people.
They think they're better than everybody else.
Yes, basically.
What if they are actually better than everybody else?
Then you can still be kind.
Okay.
And you're not better. Nobody is in a situation when they are better than anybody else, because you have so many things to be good at. Okay, you can't be better than everybody else in everything. So realizing the relativity, in the situation, So
realizing your own strengths and weaknesses. Yeah.
yeah, so that's one thing. Another thing is just not lack of intelligent conversation. You know how it works in relationships, right? You meet someone, you don't know them, and based on what they do and what they say, you decide whether you're going to meet them a bit more, right? So if there's lack of intelligent conversation, if somebody's going to talk to me about the advertisements they've seen on the telly, I'm just not going to meet that person again, even though they might be a really nice person. But if we don't have anything to talk about in common, then what's the point, right? But we're talking about bad qualities, right? Like vices or something, no? Yeah? I don't know.
Well, you obviously we're gonna define things we don't like as negative.
Yeah,
well,
lack
might not be.
lack of interest for their own family. Okay, if I was meeting a person who has not enough interest for their kids, for example, right? If I can see that a person is neglecting their kids, then I wouldn't want to be around such person. Not because I'm judging the person, but because I couldn't personally stand it emotionally. Okay, it would hurt me emotionally to see that. What else?
That's quite an important realization, the way that people treat those people who are closest to them.
Yeah, moral values. Moral values are quite important. You know, if somebody tells me that corruption is okay or stealing is okay, or you know, if lying is okay or it's okay to manipulate, then I wouldn't want to be around those people either.
Well, here's a complex one for you.
Okay.
Right? Let's just throw this in here. Yeah. Taxation is theft, right?
It depends on the point of view looking at it. Taxation itself.
Let's say taxation of individual people, where there is no obvious, need for that element to exist, would be theft, right?
I think that's a complex moral question, because if you look at it, on the individual kind of point of view, then taking money from someone who doesn't consent, or who doesn't consent, is morally a theft. Second, but if you look at the system, right? If you look at it globally, then they're basically taking money from everybody who can theoretically afford it. Theoretically, okay, because they don't tax you under a certain tax bracket, right? And then redistributing it into the services that need some funding. Should theoretically be okay. I don't think that it's the taxation that's the problem. It is the theft that is happening in the high places on everyday basis. That is the problem. It's the corruption in the high places that is the problem. Because nobody up there who's handling the money is going to give everything back. There are going to be problems. There are going to be people who want to give business to their friends and to their family.
Don't worry about it.
There are going to be people who want to keep some of their money themselves, so they're going to come up with different schemes and non-government organizations and things to filter the money just to get some more for themselves. And that is a problem, because that is a theft, okay? I think that what's happening?
They're banging the doors loud as they can for some reason.
Yeah, that's about it, really. I mean, you could argue, like if you don't want to get taxed by this government, you can move out of the country. But there's not really any other government that's not going to tax you, is there? Unless you go to Madeira or some other tax paradise country, right?
Oh yeah, the British Virgin Islands. Or you can go to Wikipedia and look at the tax rates in different countries.
Yeah, exactly.
Choose a country that has a lower.
Choose the lesser evil.
Yeah, basically. That appears to be.
There's your choice that you have. You have a choice. You can either pay the tax or not pay the tax. The only problem is that if you don't, then you go to the prison. So.
Yeah, it's not really much of a choice.
It's not really a choice, is it?
Mm-hmm. Okay, are there any? No, I'll change the question. Oh yeah, okay. Let's flip it around a bit, right? So we talked a little bit there about laws and rules, yeah.
Okay.
So, are there any rules that you've come across that you don't agree with in life? Rules either made by people or organizations or things where you said, I don't like that idea very much. I'd rather not live that way.
Rules.
Yeah, rules.
Laws.
Or it could be laws set by society.
Yeah, of course. See, vaccination, right?
Okay.
We have the vaccination where the state says that everybody has to vaccinate their child, which is morally wrong, because nobody can force you to do any medical procedures. It's like living in a Nazi Germany concentration camp or doing medical freaking experiments on people, right? I'm not saying that vaccination is a medical experiment, even though there are people who think that. I don't have an opinion on that. But
just to make a small point, it is actually an experiment because they don't exactly know what's going to happen in the future. Therefore, that categorizes it as an experiment.
But the point is, it's morally wrong to force someone to do anything with their body. It's like forcing you to pierce your ears, or forcing you to take whatever other kind of medicine.
It's like forcing you to have plastic surgery or something.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody has the right to force anyone to undergo any medical procedure. It's just wrong. So that's something that I don't want to abide by. Other law. Yeah, I don't agree with the fact that all children should be tested to see if you as a parent are doing a good job, which basically is what school tests are, right? If you decide to homeschool your children in Slovakia, they have to go and pass tests. Now, on one hand, tests can be positive, and they can give you a good image of, what the kid knows, what the kid doesn't know, and if the test is done in a good way, if it's a good test, right? If it's positive, if it's presented as a positive thing, like, why don't you test yourself and see what you can do? Not to judge you, but to give you some kind of inspiration of what else you can study, or what else is out there that you don't know.
What's up, Jazzy? 1 second. You okay over there, Jazzy? Oh, she's going to read it for you.
That's just funny. The girls are sort of reading a letter to Jasmine that she wrote for her. Yeah, so I think that tests should be there for parents if they want them, for homeschooling parents if they want them, but they shouldn't be forcing them into them.
What's up? You want to
close this chair? Let's close the door.
You want to stay in here with us?
Would you like me to pick you up, sweetie?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Okay. You going to pick her up? Because she's asking for it.
Sorry.
There we go. Oh.
Oh, she's showing the
Okay.
She's showing the poster.
Can I have a look? Oh. It's got the special. It's got the special sisters writing on it. There we go. Holding it up. Thank you. Yes. Yeah,
Thank you. Well done.
It's very kind of you to share that with us.
Oh, you want to stay up?
What?
Oh, you want this?
The what are they called?
Take it with you. Windmill? I don't know.
Windmills. The little toy windmills. Okay. Bless you. Bless you again. Bless you again. Absolutely.
So another rule, that's a Slovak rule, is that's just the way it is.
Oh, it's like a cultural habit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's like there's a problem. There's a massive, huge corruption case in the government, right, where a person steals millions of euros. And Slovaks are going to go, oh, well, it's just the way it is, isn't it? It's just what people in the government do.
Because it's a nation built on theft, basically. Yeah. So.
Because that's how everything was. That's how everything worked in socialism, and that's how everything still works now.
Because everything was changed. The only people that had stuff were the people who took it from.
Who stole it? Yeah, because everybody else just had exactly the same amount as anybody else.
Yeah, they still haven't recovered from that, obviously. Yeah. And it's going to take a long time.
It's national cultural thing. It's like stealing is great. People are going to brag about what they stole.
They do constantly.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
you can't go anywhere without hearing somebody bragging about something that they ripped off of somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so deeply ingrained in. Oh, not now. It's super cold, sweetie.
Yeah, looks like it might even snow.
We'll go outside when we're finished here, okay? I'll take you outside. We're going to take Zora to swim.
Dun, dun,
okay?
Dun.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Moving on to another question. Is there anything that you have tried or have done which you thought was unsuccessful, or which you thought that maybe you could have done better with it?
Yes, constantly, everything.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Seriously. No, sometimes the lunch is fine. No, yeah, I very often have feelings that I could have done better about everything. Which is probably true. I probably could have done better.
Yeah, but in one sense, everything can be done better. So it's not always unnatural, and it's not always bad.
Yeah, I guess.
She says, laughing at herself.
I'm not laughing at Will.
Oh, is he doing his?
He's doing so bad so you can't see him because he hides before you can look because he doesn't want to disturb you. He's just doing it at me.
So he's realised that he can't do it in front of me because he suffers the wrath of Cat.
He's behind the pillar over there and he's trying to tell me something.
Yeah. Well, if I see you, you're a dead man. Okay. Just between you and me.
If you need something, come here and talk to me. Okay. Ask me a question because I don't know what.
If it's absolutely essential and extremely important, you've got 30 seconds. Quickly, because we don't want to bore the people on. No, okay, good, then disappear.
Then it can wait for a half an hour.
Yes, there we go. Dude, it done.
Yeah. What was the question? What did I F up?
Fop, yes, your fops. Just things that you wish that you had done better, or things.
Everything. I wish I had studied harder when I was at school. What
would that have changed?
It's not just the studying. It's more about. I wish I was more involved in the community, in the university community. You know, I was very much involved in the community with my friends that went partying and drinking all the time, but I wasn't involved at all in the university community. You know, so I didn't get. I mean, it was a great opportunity to get great contacts for business, right? To start doing business while studying, you know. I could have had much more professional experience. I could have built much better network business-wise, but nothing like that happened because I just didn't care back then at all. So that I could have done that.
So that would be like a lost opportunity.
Yeah. What else? I could have started working sooner than I have. I could have. What else could I have done better? I could have started writing a book when I was 18. You know? I mean, there's so many things that I could have done if only I haven't been so passive. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, in terms of then having these regrets, are there any times when you feel that you took the wrong path or the wrong road with certain things, and then learned at some point that it wasn't perhaps the best way, and then needed to change it? Because maybe you changed, or maybe your values changed, or maybe people around about you changed.
I've had that with parenting, and I told you that before, right? When I took the wrong path and then kind of walked backwards. But with parenting, you can't really undo what you've done, right?
Mm-hmm.
It stays there somewhere. And I can see that every day. Okay.
Stays all
stays
around
in
the
the
flat.
brain. It stays you whether you like it or you don't like it. You are conditioning the brain of your child constantly ever since they're a newborn.
Mm-hmm.
The first year is absolutely essential, right? And
Well, even before they're born, I think.
yeah,
sometimes.
even before they're born. But before they're born, you don't fulfill their needs based on their demand. Okay, your blood flows into the baby constantly, right? You eat, they eat. So it's basically fulfilling your own needs. Okay, but when they're born, I wish I was have been wiser when it came to parenting. I wish I had known about attachment parenting more, and I wish I'd have done it ever since the beginning, ever since Will was a little baby. I wish I had his mouth examined, okay? Because later, with time we had a problem with breastfeeding. Later with time I've realized that he might have had some kind of physical problem. Sometimes there's like the tongue tie that needs to be cut or whatever when the baby can't feed. Anyway, I'm changing the topic, sorry. I went the wrong direction for the first year and a half of Will's life, okay? And you can't really bring it back. I mean, you can change it now, okay? And you can still have a lot of positive interaction now. You can do peaceful parenting now, but the first year is there. I mean, in the way he's afraid of new situations, in the way that he's careful, in the way that he's not as self-confident as you think that he could be, right? That's all based on the information he received when he was little and had no idea that he's receiving that information. Okay. So by doing I'd let him cry things out sometimes in the bed, in his cot. He would sleep in the cot by himself. He wouldn't sleep with us. And just generally, it wasn't attachment parenting, okay? I wasn't neglecting him, okay? I was still responding to his needs, but not as much as I wish I had. I'd left him with other people at various points of time, like, his babysat for half a day when I went interpreting. And I wouldn't do that now. I mean, it's just a few hours, but I wouldn't do that now. Not at that age. Not at like 2 months old. It's not. It's just I wouldn't. I would take him with me. Okay. So so yeah, that's where I took the wrong path, and I had to go back. I had to retrace my steps.
Okay, that's really important to acknowledge those personal changes and those personal developments. And it's very hard to acknowledge that sometimes as well.
It is hard to acknowledge that you made a mistake, especially when it comes to to bringing up your kids, because you want to do the best for them, right? And to be able to admit that you actually effed something up, something that you might not be able to repair very easily. That's that sucks.
Yeah. You can't really repair kids, can you?
No, but you know what I mean. You gave them a certain information at certain point in time, and the information stays there. I mean, you can give, what you can do is you can give them additional information. You can give them lots of additional positive information, but you can't erase. No. Yes?
Hello? Hello? What happened?
I don't know. Oh, would you like a cuddle? Do you need help?
She got a card from...
Are you stuck?
She can get out of that. Look at that.
Ooh, Houdini.
She is. She got a card from her sister, and then she was angry that her sister gave her a card for some reason that I don't understand.
She wants raisins.
Raisins. Well, if you wait a couple of minutes, then you can have as many raisins as you want.
Where did you put those raisins that you had?
Well, the ones I had in my hand.
Yeah. Did you eat them?
I ate them. What do you think I did with
The
them?
ones you had in the bowl.
I didn't take the bowl. The bowl's still there.
Where?
In the kitchen. The bowl's still there in the kitchen.
Go and see if you can find a yellow bowl in the kitchen. If you can't, tell Will.
It's near the bread, where the bread was, whatever, something like that.
Yeah. The bread space.
Okay. On to more positive topics. What is it that makes you feel good in your life? What is it that makes you feel positive in your experiences?
When I achieve something, when I do action, right? When I do something and there's a result, then that makes me feel good and motivated to do more and have more result. So, and by achieve, I mean anything. Anything. When it comes to career, when it comes to personal development or kids development or kids school or anything, that's what motivates me when I see some kind of a result. It's just like, hey, good.
So how do you know that the result is something that's good for you or positive? I mean, what is this? What is it like to go through that?
How do I know that something's positive?
Yeah. You know that. What is it?
Well, you have a goal, right? You have a certain kind of goal, and if you get closer to that goal, then that makes you feel positive. Like, say, organization, okay? You know me, and organization don't go together very well. But if I manage, if I manage to get some kind of a system going somewhere, even if it's just a tiny little step, it makes me feel good because it's an achievement. Okay. I have a lot of setbacks, obviously, where I set up something and then I go back and don't use it, and that's why I have to take very little steps. Like having one shopping checklist is a huge achievement for me. Are
you able to keep to the checklist once you make it?
Yeah. Yes, but I can't overdo it. Okay, I have to have simple checklists in situations where I need them, because I have tried to make different kinds of checklists before, and I just didn't use them because I guess my need for them wasn't as big as I thought. So if I have like a shopping checklist to make sure that we have everything, that I didn't forget to put anything on the shopping list. Another checklist that I didn't write down yet, actually, but it's in my head, and it's gonna go on the paper.
What? She can't hold on to that, you know that. Cause,
it's a leaving checklist. What to check before I leave house.
Okay.
And
why is it so difficult to create that?
It's not difficult to create it. It's just it's one of the 1,000 little things on the list of things to do, and every time you find something that's more important, it's just not on the top of my priority list. So neurolinguistically, is an attempt to persuade the other person of something you don't believe yourself. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Anyway, I mean, I go through the day.
99% of the time.
I go through the day.
There you go.
Doing things and other things popping up that I consider extremely important, right? like I go wash the dishes, but in the middle of that I see laundry and I start doing that, and in the middle of that I see okay, sweetie, I see a dry flower or plant, so I go to water it because it seems more important than the laundry, which seemed more important than the dishes, and you just get
Priorities.
it's just crazy.
Not
And there's
finishing what you start.
yeah, I know, but that's just because the other thing seems more pressing at the time. And that's how it happens, that things just don't make it to the daily to-do list,
Uh-huh.
like writing a checklist. Or I sit down at the computer going to write it, and then I see an email from a translation agency offering me a job, and there you go. Okay, my checklist is not important right now, I have to do this. So,
Yeah, priorities and getting things done is always a complex part of the human condition.
yeah.
I mean, I'm always trapped in this. There's only 24 hours in a day,
Yeah.
right? That there's no way that you can do everything.
Exactly.
There are some things that you can do, and I notice that I'm at the moment I'm on about one task an hour.
Oh, that's nice.
And I know that might sound like not a lot, but of course it depends on like whether that task is there's a difference between brushing your teeth and answering emails to your clients, right? I mean, obviously one of them takes longer, but in general, if I get what I want to get done in the hour, that's a major achievement. And I think that there's only about 5 or 6 productive hours that people can have during the day. And if I get 5 or 6 major tasks done
That's good.
in a day, that's a successful step in the right direction.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, yeah. My problem explains why sometimes you have to tell me to do something twice, because the first time it's just not of a big priority, but the second time you tell me about it, slightly pissed off, it suddenly becomes a priority, right? So it gets done, because if I was to make the checklist now, if I made a point of it, sit down at the computer, type it down, or even just write it down with a pen on a piece of paper, it would be done in 2 minutes, right?
The checklist.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's easy. Doing the checklist is easy. I mean,
I mean, you know, but
5 minutes to do a checklist.
it has never ever been a priority of such a high priority that I would make a point of sitting down and doing it. I'm
But
probably going to do that after this.
financial priorities are pretty high.
Yeah.
Right? So there are payments to be done on certain days that can't wait until other times, and
Which reminds me.
with there you go.
Which is why I'm going to town tomorrow.
So there are all these there are definitely some things which are more important than other things, and also some things which create freedom to do other things as well. Although I still think it's really hard to specifically prioritize what is essential for people.
Oh, I guess everybody's solving the same problems. Everybody's fighting the same fight, really, whether it's prioritizing family over work or whatever else you're prioritizing. So, young mums are prioritizing all the time, prioritizing baby over the household and things like that.
Jazzy, you asked me to carry it. Darling. Carry it like this? No.
How did you do that? Would you like it back?
Can I give it to you? No.
Then
Can I put it on the table
We have
here?
a problem here.
Okay, right, okay. We'll do a 30-second conclusion,
Come.
and then I'll finish up, and you can get the reasons
Okay. Let's
For
just say
the-
bye-bye.
for the little girl. Can you
Okay.
say bye-bye to the people online? That's it. That's great.
Say thank you for watching. Can you say that?
No, let's
That's
not
it.
play with the microphone. Right?
Just say thank you for watching.
Yes. Okay. So questions like the questions that we've explored, things about inspiration, when you're at your best, what you admire in other people, your personal accomplishments, qualities that you can tolerate in other people, qualities that you can't tolerate in other people, rules that are hard to follow. You know what makes you feel fulfilled personally. These are all parts of what is important to you, and these are all parts of.
You're trying to grab my mic.
Yeah, well, that's a no-no. Okay, that's an absolute no-no.
I know.
Okay.
But stop
So
it.
all of these help us answer who we are, where we are, and why we do what we do. And I think they should be explored by everybody. Isn't that right? They should be explored by everybody. So, talking about exploring, I think you should go and explore the kitchen.
Yes, we're going to explore the raisins. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you later.
And I'll do a little conclusion for the people who are out there, and you can deal with the chaos that happens as a result of the madness that is what it is. Right. If you'd like more information about what we do, it is the Academy of Language Therapy and Life Coaching online. Janka's website is, 21stcenturymom.com. And you can check out the videos on our YouTube channel, over 1,100 videos. Mother is playing Beanstalk over there. You can check out the videos we have online. You can join in the chat on Facebook. If you're interested in languages, you can pick up my daily English language masterclass. You can scroll through my Facebook page and see all the free stuff that we put out, all the free stuff that's available. And we have a whole series of interviews that are coming for you people out there, interviews with parents about their parenting experience, and a lot of tricks and tips that you can use, hopefully, in your daily life to just help your own personal development, help your family's development, help your children's development, to help you in your personal communication with other people. And we'd like to share what we've learned, and we'd like to learn what you can share with us as well at the same time. So thank you very much for tuning in, and this is G and Yanka saying we wish you a fantastic day wherever you are, and stay positive and peaceful with your parenting. So take it easy, guys.
Good job today, Dad.
Did it work?